kids used to dare each other to go into the woods at night. They knew the power of that place. They feared it. Those woods belong to something else. The ground is bad. God! It may be just some crazy folk tale, but there is something up in those woods. There's something that brings things back. Sometimes dead is better.
Welcome back to the 31 Days of Spooks. My name is Dylan Goebel, and today I'm talking about Pet Sematary, the remake that came out in 2019. The film is directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer, and it stars Jason Clarke and John Lithgow. It has the same plot as the original, so I don't really need to explain it. I already reviewed the original last year, so that's why you didn't get a review for it this year. So yeah, the remake of Pet Sematary. What do I think about it? This movie is okay. I was really excited for this film when it came out in theaters back in 2019. This was one of my most anticipated movies of that year. And while I was disappointed in it because I thought it was going to be, because the trailers made it look fucking amazing, the movie's fine. I'll just get my positives out of the way first. This movie has an amazing fucking mood and atmosphere. This movie has a constant sense of dread and fear. It is great. This movie gets the tone right when it comes to Pet Sematary. Also, the performances, especially John Lithgow. John Lithgow is fucking fantastic as Judd. This might be the best performance he has ever given in his career. It is fucking awesome. I thought he was terrific as Judd. John Lithgow, he nails it. Jason Clarke is pretty good too as the lead. He definitely sells the emotions quite well, especially during that scene, where the kid gets run over. It's not the same kid as in the book or the original story, but nonetheless, he definitely shows the emotion and the grief. This movie also does the themes of Pet Sematary quite well as well. The themes about grief and loss and shit like that. This movie gets that nailed. Also, there's some pretty good gore in this movie too. Like, this movie's not about kills or anything. Neither was the original. It's definitely not Pet Sematary 2. But this movie does have some good gory bits as well. And there's some alright scares. There's a couple of scares that actually got me. This movie does have some decent stuff when it comes to the scares. Let's get to my issues with Pet Sematary, the stuff that really brought it down for me. It's mainly because of the first half of the film. The first half of the film is tons, and I mean tons of exposition. The first half of this movie is just non-stop exposition dumps, and then when it isn't dumping exposition on you, it's jump scares. Tons of fucking jump scares. This is like the first half I wasn't a huge fan of and I was really dreading the rest of the movie because the first half is just so reliant on jump scares. I'm like, is this the only kind of scares we're gonna have in this movie? It got kind of annoying after a while. And then not gonna lie, I found the first half to be kind of boring because of the constant exposition dumps. I mean, you got some good performances, but it's just a shame that those good performances were also used for exposition, like just nonstop. The second half is where this movie picks up, and it becomes quite entertaining. Also, I wasn't a fan of the ending. Like, it's not as horrible ending or anything. I just prefer the original movie's ending. The original movie had a much better ending, in my opinion. Also, I was not and I'm not going to be too hard on a child actor, but the child actor on the girl, like the acting from her was not that great. She was way too stoic. She didn't show very much emotion, and it's kind of unusual to see a kid like that just underacting. And yeah, I wasn't really that invested in her character, and I didn't really care as much when her character dies. Spoiler alert, it's the girl that dies this time. And yeah, it didn't really grab my attention much. I didn't care as much when she died. The only thing that made me care a little bit was Jason Clarke showing that grief and pain that he had from losing her. That's where it kind of got me a bit. Uh, but yeah, it's just because of that boring first half and a weaker ending that really dropped this down from like being a potentially great movie to just kind of okay. Most of the second half I thought was fantastic though. That's where all like the good scares, and that's where this movie handles its themes better. It's just a shame that the first half of this movie was just full of exposition and jump scares. And yeah, just some of the child acting wasn't really that great, but it's Jason Clarke and John Lithgow who are really carrying this movie, and they were great in it. So it's it kind of won me over just a bit. Pet Sematary 2019, I think, is just an okay movie. It's it's definitely one of the better remakes out there. Like when there's like a huge slew of like terrible remakes to classic horror films, this one stands out. I don't. Most people say this one's better than the original. I disagree with that. I love the original Pet Sematary. This movie is just it's fine. It's there's far worse things to watch out there. I am going to give Pet Sematary 2019 a C plus. So what did you think of Pet Sematary 2019? Comment below, let me know. And if you like my stuff, you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.